The universe has always been thought of as a perfectly coordinated system, like a symphony where every celestial body moves according to the strict principles of general relativity. But at precisely 9:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, this cosmic rhythm hit an unexpected and unexplainable note. For 4 long hours, a set of high-resolution images lay unnoticed in a NASA archive, silent and waiting. Then, something extraordinary happened. The Goldstone Deep Space Communications Complex received a Doppler reading that defied all known laws of physics. Interstellar object 3I-ATLAS was not where it was predicted to be. It didn't just drift or bend under gravity like most objects. The data indicated that a mass weighing 33 billion tons had moved by approximately 300,000 miles, as though it had made a deliberate choice to go somewhere new. The big question wasn't where it was going anymore. It was, what kind of intelligence can move an object this massive across space without leaving a trace of energy or thermal exhaust? According to Newton's law of gravitation, an object's movement in space can be predicted with incredible accuracy. With just the mass, velocity, and the gravitational influence of nearby bodies like the Sun or Jupiter, we can calculate where an object will be even 1,000 years into the future. It's a precise science. But the data from Goldstone showed that 3I-ATLAS didn't just follow its predicted path. It deviated in a way that suggests something more active propulsion without any visible exhaust. This led to the theory that we might be witnessing the effects of advanced metric engineering, a concept proposed by physicist Michio Kaku. It suggests that a Type 3 civilization wouldn't rely on chemical rockets, but instead would manipulate space-time itself, creating localized warps to move instantly. Before the data from Goldstone, 3I-ATLAS was simply considered a strange interstellar visitor with a predictable hyperbolic trajectory. But now, that certainty is gone, and the mathematics have broken down. To understand just how impossible this move was, we need to consider the mass involved. Moving 33 billion tons by 300,000 miles should require an immense amount of energy, the kind of energy that could only come from thousands of nuclear warheads. Such an event would also create a noticeable thermal signature visible from Earth, but our infrared sensors detected nothing. The object remained cold, suggesting that it bypassed our understanding of physics altogether. This also points to a mastery of the equivalence principle, the idea that gravitational and inertial mass are the same. The object appears to be using negative energy density, a concept that would allow it to slide through space without pushing against it. And the direction it chose wasn't random either. The data shows that 3I-ATLAS didn't just move aimlessly, it positioned itself in a more advantageous observational location, likely to collect more data about our solar system. What's even more perplexing is the surface of 3I-ATLAS. Rather than being composed of ice or dust, as one would expect from a typical comet or asteroid, the images suggest that it's covered with a highly reflective material designed to absorb radar waves. In material science, we call this radar absorbent material, or RAM, sophisticated and far more advanced than anything we have on Earth. Further analysis of the Doppler shift indicated something remarkable. There was no fragmentation, no gas cloud, no debris. It was as if the object was a solid, rigid monolith that had simply repositioned itself with no signs of propulsion. In fluid dynamics, such a shift would typically create a chaotic, fuzzy signal, but 3I-ATLAS returned a clean, hard signal, suggesting a level of precision we've never seen before. Now, through string theory, we understand that space-time is a turbulent sea of energy at the Planck scale. If 3I-ATLAS can somehow tap into that zero-point energy, it could bypass the second law of thermodynamics and move through space without needing fuel. The shift we're witnessing might be a type of warp in hyperspace that allows it to move across vast distances without the conventional signs of acceleration or heat. As more teams of independent physicists continue to analyze the data, a chilling consensus is beginning to form. This wasn't just an accident or anomaly, it was a deliberate message. By moving 300,000 miles in a matter of hours, 3I-ATLAS has effectively sent a signal to any advanced civilization capable of detecting it. I am here, and I am not what you think I am. This is a test. The object is measuring our scientific maturity, whether we are capable of understanding the manipulation of hyperspace, or if we are still stuck in the Newtonian era trying to make sense of a mountain that seems to move on its own. The investigation into the NASA archives is just beginning, and as we delve deeper into the coordinates where 3I-ATLAS has moved, we're finding more anomalies. The object has positioned itself with such precision that it seems to defy Heisenberg's uncertainty principle at a macroscopic level. It has essentially locked itself into a new spot in our solar system with no sign of any physical means of support or propulsion. We are no longer just tracking a passing visitor. 3I-ATLAS is now a permanent, silent observer in our sky, an object that has chosen to stay, to watch, and to measure. This is no longer just an unusual object. It's a symbol of a higher intelligence that has arrived in our corner of the universe. It is a clear message that the laws of physics we know are only a small part of a much larger and more complex reality. The question now is, how will we respond? To truly understand why a 33 billion ton object moving 300,000 miles has left the global scientific community in turmoil, we must dive into the second law of thermodynamics and the principle of momentum conservation. In our universe, order tends to decay into disorder. Heat flows from hot to cold, and an object in motion will stay in motion unless acted upon by an external force. This is the foundation of classical mechanics. Yet, when 3I-ATLAS moved, it didn't just drift in the way we expected. It defied the very principles of inertia that govern our solar system. To shift such a massive object, 33 billion tons, would require a force so immense that it should have lit up the night sky like a second sun. The amount of energy needed to move it should have been visible, yet our orbiting observatories recorded no heat. The object remained at an absolute zero temperature. This absence of heat, the lack of any detectable exhaust or propulsion, made this event impossible to explain using the physics we understand. Through the lens of Michio Kaku's theoretical framework, this anomaly hints at a form of metric engineering, not reliant on chemical rockets. Instead, the object may be manipulating the fabric of space-time itself to create a localized warp, shifting space around it, rather than moving through it. This would explain why no force was needed to move 3I-ATLAS. In fact, it might have simply bent space, contracting it in front of it and expanding it behind, shifting the object's position without creating the traditional signs of propulsion. This model also aligns with theories surrounding the concept of an Alcubierre bubble, a theoretical warp drive solution to Einstein's field equations. The object wouldn't move through space. Instead, it would bend space itself. There is hard evidence to support this theory. Gravitational lensing data captured by the James Webb Space Telescope reveals a period of exactly 14 seconds during which the stars behind 3I-ATLAS shimmered in a rhythmic, geometric pattern. This could indicate a phase shift in the local gravitational constant, a sign that the object was altering its own gravitational footprint to slip through the fabric of spacetime. It's not simply a rock in space. We're witnessing an advanced craft that is capable of manipulating the local laws of physics at will. When scientists examined the high-resolution images from NASA's Deep Space Network, they noticed something even more unsettling. The surface of 3I-ATLAS didn't resemble the typical jagged, dusty surface of a comet or asteroid. Instead, it appeared smooth, with a highly reflective surface, one that seemed intentionally engineered to absorb radar waves. This material, known as radar absorbent material, RAM, is often used in stealth technology, but the version we're seeing here is far more advanced than anything on Earth. In material science, RAM is used to hide objects from radar detection. If 3I-ATLAS is composed of such material, it suggests an advanced level of technological sophistication far beyond anything humanity has achieved. This raises the question, what is it trying to hide from? What is it capable of that we don't understand? As simulations continued, it became clear that 3I-ATLAS wasn't just repositioning randomly. It was making a calculated move. The object's new position places it at a gravitational sweet spot, a location in space where the pull of the Sun and Earth cancel each other out. This positioning is crucial for a probe wanting to maximize its observational capabilities. It effectively provides a constant, unobstructed view of Earth's dayside, while simultaneously remaining in a prime position to harvest energy from the sunday. In the music of the spheres, this is a calculated move, strategic and deliberate. It's not the behavior of a passive rock drifting through space. It's the actions of an intelligence with a clear goal, to observe, to study, and to stay. The most mind-boggling aspect of this entire event is the evidence pointing to quantum-level manipulation. The radar data and simulations suggest that the object is vibrating at a subatomic frequency, likely tapping into quantum vacuum fluctuations to anchor itself in place. This kind of manipulation could explain how the object is holding its position at the Lagrange point without the use of fuel or any traditional propulsion systems. This behavior isn't just extraordinary, it's a direct challenge to our understanding of physics. In classical mechanics, objects in space are influenced by gravitational forces, but 3I-ATLAS seems to have found a way to bypass these forces altogether, using the very energy that underpins the fabric of the universe. It's as if the object is surfing on the vacuum energy of space itself. The vibrations detected by the Goldstone antenna are not random noise. They appear to be a carefully orchestrated response, a signal to the fabric of space-time itself, as if the object is speaking in a language far beyond our comprehension. As the mystery deepens, researchers have started to detect a hidden signal embedded within the radar data. This isn't a simple message in binary or a coded transmission. It's a geometric code based on the fundamental constants of the universe, the fine structure constant, the speed of light, and the Planck length. In quantum cryptography, this kind of signal is known as a universal handshake, a way for a civilization advanced enough to understand the laws of physics to communicate with others who are at a similar level of understanding. This message is a clear sign that 3I-ATLAS is waiting for us to level up. It's a test, an intelligence assessment. By positioning itself in such an impossible way, by utilizing methods of propulsion and energy harvesting that we can't even fathom, it has shown us that we are still in the infancy of our scientific evolution. It has raised the stakes, forcing us to confront the reality that the universe is far more complex and inhabited by far more advanced civilizations than we ever imagined. As we continue to analyze the data, the implications are clear. The movement of 3I-ATLAS was not just a relocation, it was an arrival. This object is not a passing comet or asteroid. It is now parked in a position that gives it a constant, unblinking view of Earth and a direct line of sight to the Sunday. It's a sentinel, watching us, studying us, and perhaps even judging us. We are no longer the masters of our solar system. The music of the spheres has shifted, and we are now just one of many players in a much larger cosmic orchestra. 3I-ATLAS is no longer just an anomaly. It is a symbol of a higher intelligence, a civilization that has mastered the manipulation of space-time, energy, and physics at a scale that we cannot yet comprehend. And as the clock ticks down, we find ourselves at a crossroads. The images from NASA are no longer just a mystery, they are a blueprint for our future or for our obsolescence. The age of isolation is over, we are now being observed, and the universe is not what we thought it was. The questions now are no longer about what we will discover, but about what we will do next. The age of 3I-ATLAS has begun.